Tax Solutions Now is a complimentary referral service that connects callers to companies that provide tax services.
Money matters. If you owe thousands in back taxes to the IRS, how much can Tax Solutions Now save you?
I paid less than I owe.
That's right, money matters. So call Tax Solutions Now and get the IRS off your back. Since 2014, Tax Solutions Now has been a leader in the tax resolution industry. Remove wage garnishments, property liens, fines, and penalties. Qualify for the Fresh Start program or even uncollectible status. How much can Tax Solutions Now save you?
I owed the IRS over $10,000. I paid a fraction of what I owed.
Call now to reduce or even eliminate your back taxes.
I called Tax Solutions Now and got the IRS off my back. Thanks. You saved us a ton of money.
Money matters. How much can Tax Solutions Now save you? Call now and find out.
Call 800-683-7377. 800-683-7377. 800-683-7377.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report is brought to you by BorgataSports.com. Your favorite casino is now your favorite sportsbook. Available anywhere in New Jersey, BorgataSports.com. Sign up at BorgataSports.com using our promo code PIKE, that's P-I-K-E. Make your first wager of $20 or more and you'll get $100 in free bets. That's $100 in free bets when your first wager on Borgata Sports is $20 or more. Get into the action with BorgataSports.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to this week's edition of the Book Report. We've got a lot of state and national sports betting numbers to report. We've got international numbers to report now, too. We've got a bunch of launches, a lot of legislative updates, and another week full of deals.
Yeah, a lot of deals.
Well, let's start off with some numbers. We have the American Gaming Association just released their commercial revenue tracker for the month of July.
Okay.
And according to the AGA, July set the new record for monthly U.S. commercial gaming revenue, reaching $4.83 billion.
Wow.
That's through the first 7 months of the year, and the commercial gaming revenue, according to the AGA, has nearly matched the industry's total for all of 2020.
Wow.
So we're off to a good recovery again, after all the COVID reopenings.
Plus, there was a whole bunch of new sports books and a bunch of states really coming online, so it's great to see.
Yep. We have also, let's see, the limited summer sports calendar, according to the AGA still, led to the lowest level of monthly sports betting activity so far this year.
Okay.
Yep. Americans legally bet $2.42 billion. That's still a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Down almost 34% from June.
Okay.
So slow sports betting calendar led to a lower level of sports betting activity, but the overall commercial gaming revenue still set a record.
Yeah, I'm surprised about that. A little surprised because, not only baseball, which, is always a less number than football, basketball, and hockey, but it seems like we had the Olympics this year. I'm surprised, more betting wasn't on the Olympics.
Well, I still think in this country, maybe the Olympic betting still hasn't caught on everywhere yet.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, I didn't place one bet on the Olympics.
Neither did I.
I'm just not familiar with those sports, so, I didn't do it. But I know a lot of people who did bet on the Olympics, and I'm surprised, it didn't reflect in the betting numbers.
Well, they had a good amount of Olympic betting.
It's great. I mean, it's amazing. I just thought, I'm still waiting for that report, how many people or how much revenue was gotten by books from the Olympics.
Well, again, the Olympics for me, the big problem I had with the Olympics, I couldn't figure out what was on at the time. What sport was going on.
Yeah.
The
time difference was a little tough.
I had that problem with overseas soccer too.
Sure.
I can't keep track of everything. So, but good numbers for the overall commercial gaming sector.
Absolutely
in terms
amazing
of revenue.
numbers. Yeah.
Over with the NFL, we have the NFL season starting up soon. The NFL is estimating that it will generate $270 million in revenue through the agreements with the casino companies and the sportsbook operators.
I remember a time just a couple of years ago when the NFL thought that the worst thing you could do in life is place a bet on sports, and look how far they've come.
The evils of sports betting.
I'm glad the NFL has come to realize that sports betting isn't that evil.
No. As a matter of fact, it's very beneficial.
It's very beneficial.
Let's see. This was interesting. According to the Washington Post, they did a survey, the league, the National Football League did a survey and researched their fans' attitudes toward betting.
Okay.
They discovered that half are either active or aspiring casual bettors.
Okay.
While another 30% are ambivalent toward sports betting.
Okay. All right.
Now, here's this one. This
were there
here.
people, fans of the sport, totally against it?
Well, according to the research, the percentage of active rejectors, people who don't like sports betting associated with the league.
That's an interesting term they use, active rejectors.
Was 20% back when the NFL started looking at the sports betting industry more seriously. We're talking about last year, 2 years ago. In this new set of research, that figure has since tumbled to 12%.
No, it's...
So their fan base is starting to become a lot more approving of sports betting.
Well, I think the fan base is also educating themselves about sports betting. You know, more states are jumping online in sports betting. It's more in front of their face. It's something they can understand, and maybe, you know, they didn't know a lot about it beforehand, but now they know about it, and you know, maybe their attitudes have changed.
Well, we'll see exactly where they go with this. I mean, $270 million as additional revenue because of all these deals is not a shabby thing to see in a year. Moving over to Canada. We now can report on Canada.
Okay, yeah.
They just launched their sports betting market.
It just went legal. What's the official term of it? Single event betting?
Single event sports betting.
Okay, all right.
Because they always had parlay.
They were like Delaware years ago.
Yes.
Delaware had sports betting, but it could only place a bet if it was in the form of a parlay. And Canada was like that. Right
now, it's only the provincial lotteries are running sports betting. There's a couple others coming, you know, pretty quickly. A lot of the third-party operators are saying December, but you may see one or two launch before that. And by the time this airs, we may see something else launch.
I would think everyone's really moving quickly. I mean, the NFL is starting up. We already have college football going. I would think these third-party operators would be scrambling to get going in Canada really quick.
Well, we already have a handle report from Canada.
Oh, already? Wow.
Yep. The Ontario Lottery and Gaming Corporation, which runs the, I think it's called the ProLine Online Sportsbook. As a matter of fact, I took a look at this. It actually is a really cool-looking site.
Okay, and this is online. This is online.
This is online. It's an online sportsbook run by the Ontario Lottery. They reported that the first 5 days of legal single-event sports betting across Ontario, this is just Ontario, brought in $1 million Canadian over the first 5 days in terms of handle.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 days, $1 million. Not bad.
Yeah, it's
for
new.
A brand new industry. Let's see. Over in British Columbia, the British Columbia Lottery Corporation, which runs the Play Now online website, they reported 1,200 new players in just the first couple of days, and a 96% increase in the number of wagers and a 72% increase in the amount of money wagered.
I'm still waiting for the report to see what they're betting on. You know, are they like Colorado and they love their table tennis, or is it college football? Or,
well, they will be providing breakdowns. A lot of places are going to start reporting on the breakdowns, and we'll have to do an updated segment at some point talking about.
I'm very curious to see if there's one very interesting sport that Canadian bettors bet on that maybe American U.S. bettors don't bet on. I'm very curious about that.
Well, funny you should mention table tennis, though.
Oh, table tennis. Oh, my
we
favorite.
We have Colorado.
Is it Colorado?
Their numbers.
Okay,
figures. Yep. Table tennis.
Did it crack the top 5? It's been 6 for a long time. The sixth most bet on sport.
Well, this month in July, even though, you know, Colorado is suffering from everybody else, the slower sports calendar, lower handle, all that stuff.
Hey, there's still table tennis.
Table tennis broke into the top 5.
Ooh, look at that.
They rounded out the top 5.
Okay,
as a matter of fact.
Number 5, huh?
They rounded out the top 5 with $8 million in handle, or 4.8% of the total handle.
Wow.
They beat out golf and MMA.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hockey was even lower, too. But top sports in Colorado.
What hockey bets are they?
There's
I guess
ice
there
hockey
must be
somewhere,
future bets, I guess.
also there's overseas hockey.
I guess.
But, baseball took the top spot with $61 million. Basketball came in second with $27 million. Third was soccer, or football, however you want to phrase that. And fourth went to tennis with $12 million, and then table tennis brought in the
Table
8.
tennis. Look at that.
So, again, Colorado sports bettors love them some table tennis. Let's go over to some launches. We have a bunch of different launches, bunch of different states. We actually have a brand new state to talk about. We have Wyoming.
Yes, Wyoming jumped on board.
Wyoming, the quickest to legislation to implementation of all the states.
Really? Okay.
They are now the 24th U.S. jurisdiction to offer legal sports betting. It's an online-only market. Nothing has to be tethered to a land-based casino.
Great.
Mainly because there's only tribal casinos there, I believe. This is online only. It's also one of the few jurisdictions that not only allows you to fund and deal with your sports betting transactions with cryptocurrency.
Okay.
It's 18 and older.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm curious to see what college is going to do something with a sports book already.
Okay.
Because that's going to be a little different than I know we had. Colorado had a college do a deal with PointsBet, and we have another college in Denver. I think Denver University just did another deal with another sports book.
Yep.
But I'm curious to see what happens in Wyoming if there's some sort of restrictions in place for a student body of a college, because they're 18 years old.
Sure. I think the NCAA was going to have to come up with some procedures or rules and regulations to address the issues.
Well, for college betting, just so you know, in Wyoming, no college prop bets.
Okay.
You can bet on the college games, but no prop bets.
Okay.
So I guess that's one little safeguard in there. First bet in the state was also done at DraftKings, which was one of the two sports books to launch. It was DraftKings and BetMGM right away.
Wow. Okay.
As soon as they announced it.
Right off the bat, huh? DraftKings and BetMGM, huh?
But the first bet taken at DraftKings, it was a $1.10 bet on the UAB at Jacksonville.
By the way, I bet on that game, too. I went with Jacksonville State.
And this person did, too.
Okay, well, then we both lost because they lost to UAB 31-0.
Yep.
So, Jacksonville State was a 16.5-point underdog, so I went with Jacksonville State. So.
Someone must have seen the exact same thing you saw and went to do the plus 16.5. And
that's a very interesting amount wagered. $1.10.
Well, they must have looked at dollar figure first, the outcome first.
Okay, all right.
They plugged in what they wanted to win and how much they wanted to do it. Also, it could have been celebratory.
Yeah, I know.
It could have ceremonial, not celebratory.
Well,
ceremonial.
It's well, look, I mean, you want to make sure it works. So I guess you don't want to risk too much, huh?
No.
So.
Going over to a couple other launches in the country, we have Arizona is going to be interesting to watch. They haven't launched yet. They did say that they are looking at a launch 12:01 a.m. on Thursday morning, September 9th, and that's about 20 hours before the Cowboys-Buccaneers game. That's the opening night game. Mm-hmm. Problem is there's a lawsuit.
So by the time this airs,
we may or may not see a new state launch.
It should be up and going, huh?
Well, no, there's a lawsuit.
There's a lawsuit, okay.
They're going to be doing a hearing on the Monday after we're recording this, just, so everyone knows this is before the week began here. There's a lawsuit going on. We'll see exactly whether or not they can launch or whether it's stayed or there's an injunction. If everything goes through, they're live 12:01 a.m. Thursday morning, September 9th. And everyone can enjoy the NFL season in Arizona.
So, but I'm thinking it's going to launch.
Yeah,
I'm thinking.
I don't know. I don't know exactly what kind of strength the.
I would place a bet that it will launch. So So September 9th. That's the if you're in Arizona, circle that date.
Over in Washington D.C., we had a interesting launch. Ellis Game Technology. Now. That company just acquired U.S. bookmaking. Mm-hmm. not too long ago. They have a deal in place with the Grand Central Restaurant and Bar Group in Washington, D.C., and they just got their sports betting license to operate a sports book in the Grand Central Restaurant.
Wow, that's cool.
It's going to be kind of interesting because, again, it's still, depending on the neighborhood in D.C., I know there's a couple different neighborhood groups that are against having sports books in some of their bars because they're not attacking the sports betting licenses. They're now attacking the liquor licenses.
Okay.
So it's going to be interesting to see how D.C. pans out. I'm all for this, as a matter of fact.
Sure,
if it's kiosk operated, it's like a lottery thing.
That's what I'm thinking. When we say a sports book operating in a bar and restaurant, what we're really talking about, and correct me if I'm wrong, are kiosks.
Yes.
Yeah.
They look like lottery machines.
Yeah. They're like, they're kiosks. So it just in the corner of a room. So
moving over to Tennessee, we have 2 new books in Tennessee. Tennessee Education Lottery announced 2 new sportsbook operators. Barstool Sportsbook,
okay,
which also launched in Virginia, by the way.
Okay. And the week before in New Jersey. Yeah.
And the social sports betting app, Wager, the very first state for Wager.
Oh, okay.
And that's betting among friends.
Oh, that's
it's
not a sports book,
it's
really.
peer-to-peer.
It's peer-to-peer kind of thing. Okay.
So, that's kind of going to be an interesting one to watch because, I think you have Zen Sports almost like that too, but they're more of a betting exchange than a friend-to-friend kind of thing. So,
I'm curious to see how that works out.
So, we now have 9 in the state of Tennessee.
Wow.
So
and they're online only, right?
They're online only. Going over into some legislative areas, Ohio is just a mystery to me. The Ohio Casino Control Commission asked the legislature to extend the deadline for issuing licenses.
Wow.
The original bill called for license applications to start being taken January 1st of 2022. Mm-hmm. They now have asked for a 6-month window from the first of the year to begin the accepting application process, and then there's a 10-month window after that window is closed. So I don't know if we're talking football of 2022, football season of 2022 for Ohio, or are we talking 2023 now?
Wow. Ohio better get their act together. I mean, that is such a great sports state, and, I think it'll be such an incredible sports betting market and make Ohio a lot of money. So, I hope they get all their ducks in a row pretty soon.
Yeah, just so as a comparison, Connecticut, zipping right along. The sports betting and online gaming regulations were approved 9-4 by the state's legislative review committee. So they're moving ahead. All they're waiting on right now is the Department of Interior to rule on the 2 gaming compacts between the tribes.
So it's safe to say that Connecticut this fall, it's going to happen. You're going to place a bet this fall in Connecticut, right?
It's going to happen.
I'm feeling it's really, really close in Connecticut.
It may not happen by the time the Buccaneers-Cowboys game because the end of the 45-day window for the Department of Interior is the 10th. So, but again, they may throw a letter out this week before the game starts.
Yep.
So we may see Connecticut launch. We may not. Florida is going to be a mess.
Yep.
We have the lawsuits going against the compacts and especially against the Governor DeSantis there. So Governor DeSantis decided to file a response himself. He went pro se, or he went through the in-house counsel of the governor's office, saying the group suing the state did not have standing. He has sovereign immunity. They didn't name the Seminole tribe in the lawsuit. So he filed his own motion to dismiss. According to all the experts out there that read through the complaint, I haven't read through the entire complaint yet. He didn't cite a single thing of law.
Oh, he didn't cite law. He didn't say it's like case
he
law
cited
or
one or
anything?
two basic points
of
law.
I haven't read the complaint.
There really was no case law cited, which you actually kind of need in these types of filings.
We'll see what happens. I think it's Florida's sports betting is going to move forward.
Well, sports betting retail is going to move forward.
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
is only for the online side. Yeah. And again, you also have the DraftKings FanDuel ballot initiative still going on. Mm-hmm. So, you may see another ballot initiative towards the end of the year.
Florida's going to have sports betting. It's just going to limp along for a little while.
Yeah.
Then it's
just going to kick
and then
in.
it's just going to explode online. So that's what's going to happen in Florida.
Let's talk a couple of deals here. before we get out of here for the week. Let's see. Rush Street signed a couple of brand ambassadors.
Oh, okay.
BetRivers.com. That's their forward-facing book.
Okay.
They announced the signing of tennis pro James Blake and the 3-time Super Bowl champion Mark Schlereth as brand ambassadors.
Great. I don't hear a lot of tennis players being ambassadors. I think it's great.
Well, again, you got to start thinking outside the box. You got to cover all sports, and especially now with I guess it's the U.S. Open going on, as well as a couple of the other big tennis tournaments where actually crowds are starting to come back to now. Mm-hmm. Tennis is a big betting sport, and it's just going to get bigger, I think.
I know a lot of people who bet on tennis.
So James Blake will be part of the, and also Mark Schlereth. They're both part of the Bet with a Winner program that BetRivers has.
So am I going to hear them on radio commercials or see them on television commercials or see them all over my Twitter timeline? Is that what I'm looking for?
You'll see them on social media, those platforms, that sort of stuff. But Schlereth also does a lot of content for him. He's going to do some video work, Colorado mostly.
Okay.
Denver Broncos stuff.
Well, yeah, he was a Bronco. Yeah.
He's also going to do weekly NFL and Broncos picks for BetRivers. And it's going to be kind of interesting to watch this because I like Schlereth. Schlereth is a great analyst, and I don't know if he's still doing the ESPN spots that he was doing.
I don't know.
That's going to be kind of interesting to see if he actually gets on with that stuff as well. BetMGM went outside the country.
Oh, okay.
They announced a strategic partnership with Casino Del Mar at La Concha Restaurant in San Juan, Puerto Rico.
La Concha Resort.
Restaurant.
I'm sure they have a restaurant there.
But no, they went to Puerto Rico.
Great.
Puerto Rico has not legalized sports betting just yet. They're moving toward it. That's another location that kind of bears watching.
Okay.
They have a huge sports following industry that, the people love all their different soccer, tennis, all that. That's a huge area for that stuff.
Sure.
So BetMGM will be doing a retail and a mobile sports betting operation with the resort once it becomes legalized in Puerto Rico.
Great.
University of Denver. I think I mentioned this earlier on.
Yeah.
Multi-year partnership with Superbook.
Who, by the way, also went online with their mobile sportsbook in New Jersey.
Number 21 for Jersey.
Number 21 for New Jersey.
But Superbook, the first place outside of Nevada that they launched was in Colorado.
Okay.
So they did a deal with the University of Nevada.
Nope, University of Denver.
Why? Every time I'm talking about a sportsbook, it's hard for me to say Colorado names with this stuff. But University of Denver, with Superbook Sports, they're the second school in the state with a Colorado sportsbook agreement.
That's right. Yeah, I remember you saying
Colorado University.
Yeah. Okay.
With PointsBet.
Okay. Yeah.
Again, unlike Wyoming, this is a 21 plus jurisdiction. So.
Right.
I think these did not get looked at too hard because of the 21 plus. I think, like I just said this before, Wyoming's going to be different. So it's going to be branding, media, hospitality, assets, social media, basically sort of what the books do with the NFL teams.
Okay,
that type of deal.
Yep.
So we'll see exactly how many more schools in Colorado are going to be doing this because there's a lot to choose from out there. I think there's, 24, 25 online books in Colorado.
Yeah, there's a lot. I think there's more than New Jersey. New Jersey has 21. I think Colorado has more online sports books.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I don't know if we talked about this, but if we did not, we might as well talk about it now. Oregon Lottery chose DraftKings to replace Intralot with the scoreboard sports betting app there. DraftKings gave up fantasy sports, but DraftKings is already starting to move ahead with the new sports betting side in Oregon, and we may see that launch soon.
Great.
Possibly by football.
Great.
I don't know if that's actually going to happen. Sling TV launched the Barstool Sports Network.
Oh, they launched
the channel, I should call it that. They call it the Barstool Sports Network.
I know they announced it. I didn't know they launched it.
It premiered over the weekend.
Great.
So I'm kind of curious to watch it. Fubo Gaming, the Fubo TV with the sports betting integrated into their live streams there. Fubo Gaming announced a partnership with the Ak-Chin Indian community in Arizona. So that's another Arizona sports betting deal.
Arizona's going to be huge.
Same thing with WynnBET. WynnBET did a deal with the San Carlos Apache Tribal Gaming Enterprise, which operates the Apache Gold Casino and Apache Sky Casinos in Arizona. That's WynnBET's 16th state. So WynnBET's growing as well. One other little...
I finally saw their commercial with Ben Affleck.
That was the one I was just going to mention.
Oh, okay,
WynnBET
you mentioned WynnBET, and I was like, what commercial is this?
That's what I was going to hit. The WynnBET advertising campaign launch. Kind of interesting to, that commercial does have a completely different feel than every other sports betting commercial out there. I mean, I know we said that about Caesars when they did it. Yep. But WynnBET went in a completely different direction, and actually was kind of fun to watch that commercial.
It's good. Yeah, no, check it out.
I know they had a 2.5-minute version.
Oh, okay.
On their website.
No, I didn't see a 2.5-minute version.
Yeah, no, the one out there is a minute or something.
Yeah, I think I saw a minute one. But no, it's interesting. Anyone out there who wants to check it out, I guess they can Google it. I would guess it's online everywhere.
And just for people who follow Ultimate Disc.
Ultimate Disc.
The American Ultimate Disc League, AUDL, they had a partnership with DraftKings for data and all that stuff and doing some different things. They are now going to be the featured game of the week on the DraftKings Friday Game of the Week. You're going to be able to see it for free.
Where would I see that? I mean, I can watch. Do I have to go to DraftKings?
Available. I'm getting to that right now.
Right,
I'm plowing through the release. Available free to viewers on the DraftKings Dream Stream on YouTube and Twitch.
Okay, I'll check out YouTube and Twitch.
They're going to be doing every week, each Friday night, they're going to pick a game from the AUDL and feature that. They're also going to be doing a free-to-play game for the AUDL with cash prizes for winners. There's going to be a weekly segment called Lepler's Locks featuring the voice of the AUDL, Evan Lepler, every Wednesday on Facebook Live and also on demand on the AUDL website. Ultimate Disc League. That's the Frisbee League.
Okay. All right.
Just in case anyone didn't realize what I was talking about there. I apologize. I should have said that at the beginning of that segment. That's it for this week. There's a whole bunch more to talk about, but in the time we have, we did not get to it. As always, head on over to turnpikesportsradio.com, click on the blog button, and you will see our full book report in print form. Just like I said, click on the blog, and any news that you want us to report on, info@turnpikesportsradio.com is the email address for the show.
And that'll do for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.